If you are here, that means you're in this range of wanting to change, to transform, means either you have a very strong energy drive to completely want to transform your life, or there's this small little part in you that hopes to become better, that hopes to change, but it has also met a lot of struggles, a lot of failures where you've decided to change certain things and then have fallen back time and time again. You can be anywhere on this range. In this video, I'm going to share with you why the 82 days, how we can use 82 days to transform our life, whether it's even possible, whether 82 days is too many, too little, what my plan is to use for me across these 82 days. I'm going to share all of that with you. Let me just share my screen with you here. Now, why have I chosen this number 82? I'll tell you two reasons. One, usually people think about habit formation or habit building as 21 days, 30 days. But here's what research says. Research says depending on the person and depending on the kind of habit that you want to build, it can take anywhere between 18 and 254 days to build a habit. So I've taken this data. What has made me decide that from this data, I'm going to take 82 days? Well, today, October 10th to 2024 to 31st December 2024 is 82 days. And Parkinson's law says your project, whatever you're deciding, your task that you're deciding, will automatically expand itself to fit in the time you have, right? So I could have made this transformation project into, 6 months or 254 days. 18 days I know is too little for the kind of transformation that I'm looking for. And 254 days, I might not need 254 days, right? So I have a set goal, which is from today until the start of the new year, until 31st December, last day of this year, moving into Jan 1st, 2025. As I share with you my plan, I want you to first listen to two things, two very important things. Number one, I probably like you have multiple times tried to change, failed, change, failed, change, failed. But through this, I have figured out certain points, certain very key elements that I'm going to talk about. Second, something to remember is that we're all at different levels of our own versions, our own understanding of ourselves, right? So when you see my plan, for some of you, it might seem too advanced. For some of you, it might seem like I've already got this, right? Doesn't matter where you are. This is my plan. You will need to create your plan, which is also how I think about life. I work as an inner work guide, and in the work that I do with my clients, every client, every person, we have to work with you at wherever you are, right? And wherever you are is the right place to be. It's neither great nor not good. It is where it is, and that's perfect. With those two things in mind, here's one key element that I have learned. What happens for most people is that the moment they fail, they sort of feel like, okay, now I can't do this. And then again, they fail. And then they feel I can't do this. And then they again fail. And then they finally sort of build this self-limiting belief of saying, oh, I cannot. Now, here's the thing. What your brain is focusing on is all the failures. What your brain is actually not seeing is that the first time you tried, you failed, you came here. Second time you tried, you failed, you came here. Tried, failed, came here. Now, your mind is only looking at so-called failures, but actually, you may not have met your goal, but you progressed. And so one big key element that I have learned in my life and learned through the work that I do with others is that if I focus only on failures, then as long as you keep doing it, you will still succeed. But if you're only focusing on failures, you will never feel good in life, about yourself, about anything you do, even though you're actually succeeding, because, the way I showed you, you will go from here, then your goal is here, you'll go here, then your goal is here, you'll go here. So you're progressing, you're succeeding, but your mind is just thinking about the failure. And so despite succeeding, you'll always feel like, I'm not good enough, I can't, your limiting belief, right? Instead of focusing on failures, this is what I have realized, instead of focusing on my failures, I focus on what is the progress that I have made. And so, as with anybody, anyone who doesn't give up will continue to succeed, right? So I continue to succeed, and I also feel great about myself in my life. All right. So I have tried to change multiple times. I have failed multiple times, and yet I today am a very different person from who I was 10 years back, 5 years back, 2 years back. I have evolved. I know that as a matter of fact. Yeah. The reason I know it is because I am able to see beyond the failure. Okay. Now, here's my 82 days plan to a new me. As you'll see in the column here, the column C, I guess, 21-day fast. My original idea or my first thought was actually to do a 21-day fast. Now, let me tell you, 21-day fast, 21-day long, prolonged water fast, which means for 21 days, I don't eat any food. I'm only on water. This is not the first time I'm doing it. My first long fast, prolonged fast, was a 10-day long water-only fast. This is back in 2019. And then in 2020, I did a 21-day long water fast. And then in 2022, I did a 13-day long water fast. And so this is my fourth prolonged water fast. This is what I originally wanted to do. Why? So number one, a long water fast, prolonged water fast is to cleanse your entire system, is in a way to reset your body. There'll be a different video for the 21-day fast, why do it, preparation for it, etc., etc. So you can watch the different video. But at the core of it, my idea behind this 21-day fast was to reset. What I have seen over the last 1.5, 2 years is that slowly but surely I've been building habits that I don't like and that I would rather not have, right? And so slowly but surely the habits that I want had been reducing, and the habits that I don't want had been expanding. And so I was like, okay, fine, what do we do? One clean detox reset, 21-day prolonged water fast is great for many, many reasons. One, of course, is the body detox. 2, mind detox. 3, potential for habit detox. Yeah. So for all of those reasons, starting today. So the 82 days is about 11.7 weeks. And so this is the first of the 0.7 weeks. This is 3 days, October 10th to October 12th. And so this will be my pre-fast of 3 days. I will tell you shortly what actually, you can just watch that video for my how I prepare for the 21-day. Here's what I'm going to shift, right? Here's what I'm going to shift, and so shift means what I'm going to add and what I'm going to remove. So I'll start waking up at 6:45 a.m. Understand that, again, this is something that I've realized through my own experience. It is better to do incremental shifts, and it is better to go slow. For me, what I have found is that I accelerate too fast. So when I have the energy, I just go zoom. It's great in that moment, in that energy zoom, but then it also falls back. And I don't want to do that, right? Very, very incremental. Before today, I had been waking up at around, I would put an alarm for 7, I'd wake up by like 7:15, 7:30. So I want to start waking up at 6:45 a.m. for these today and next 2 days. Today I woke up at 6:45 a.m. Oh, one more thing. This is going to be incremental. So whatever I let go of one week, the next week, it is still gone, right? And whatever I add is still added. Over the last 6 months to a year, my TV binge had just expanded, like exploded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let go of Netflix. What you'll see here in the week of 24th November, I say I will let go of TV binges. So for now, I'm just saying no Netflix. May still watch Apple TV, but no Netflix. What I'm also adding, I did it today as well, was in the morning, 15 minutes of intuitive movement. I'll eventually make a video about what intuitive movement is, what I do. Basically, I combine yoga, dance, and just following the body. Yeah, I'll do an instructional video about it sometime later, but this is what I'm adding. And then sleep. Again, my sleep was all haywire. So sleep, I'm going to ensure for the next 3 days, 11 p.m. By 11 p.m., I'm off to sleep. So on and so forth. I'm not going to talk about each and every week. Incremental shifts, slow, small incremental shifts, and a little bit of ease. Yeah. So what I mean by that is, let's say for the 21 days of fasting, I've put up wake up time as 6 to 6:30 and sleep time as 10 to 10:30. right? So there isn't a hard and fast. And I've specifically done that for the 21 days, because in the 21 days, as my body goes without food, its needs and wants will shift. And I want to sort of respect that. As you follow along with my journey, as you follow along in my channel with my channel, you will see, you will understand me as a person. I try and be as much as possible with this present moment and with what intuitively is emerging for me as energy, in terms of my body, in terms of my emotions, thoughts, not diving into anything, not staying away from anything. It's sort of, going with and noticing, how's this? Oh, when we go down, oh, what happens? Oh, what do I see? What do I see? Oh, then when I come up, what? A lot of intuitiveness, and you'll see that as you come along in the journey. Again, more about fasting in a separate video, but just for some reference, it is said that a prolonged water fast is 10 days or more. So any prolonged water fast that you do, you must refeed for at least 1/3 of the time. Many people also say about half the time, right? So if I'm doing 21 days, I should be refeeding for 7 to 10 days. Right now, I've put here 7 days. We'll see how and what. Now, if you read this column of what I'm adding, you'll see just very, very simple, one single thing, one single thing, one single thing, and that's all I'm going to focus on. Usually my go-to has been, okay, I want to add a morning routine, I'll add everything. Okay, I want to add an evening routine, I'll add everything. But here you see, every week, I'm incrementally adding one thing, one thing, one thing, and then once I have like 3 weeks of that on me, then I go on and say, okay, these 2 things in the evening. And then I say, okay, now one more thing in the evening. We can talk about this later towards the weeks. And then you see, I finally, this is almost 2 months, yeah, give and take. Almost about 7 to 8 weeks is when I say, okay, finally my morning routine is set, 90 minutes in the morning, and then about an hour in the evening. From my experience, right? Like if you're trying to transform, if you're trying to change something in life, go slow. Go slow, be continual. So you don't have to be continuous. Continuous means non-stop. Continual means you can pause, maybe even go down a little, and then continue again, right? Life is continual. That's why it goes up, goes down, goes up. So it's continual. Yeah. If you want to change, if you want to transform, slow increments, consistent increments. Okay, here's the other thing. How I learn best from my own experience, which is a very, very interesting statement, because everybody learns only through their experience. You may intellectually know a fact from cognitive understanding, but your real learning, by the way, that's Brew. She's about a year old. And she's super sleepy. She's gone off to sleep there. Okay, so yeah, everybody's learning happens in the same way, which is through our own experience. Does that mean that you don't learn from anywhere else? Of course not. I ensure that I'm continually investing time, energy, money, everything in my learning, right? So you learn, you learn concepts, you learn facts, you learn what happened in somebody else's life, in their experience. So you bring that data to you, but then you got to use that in your own being. And your being, yes, a lot of things are going to be same for you, for me, for so many other people. And yet, there will be a certain uniqueness, because what's happened in my life, even if the exact same things have happened in your life, yet we're going to be viewing the world differently. Even if we view the world in the same direction, there will be some minute degree difference. Even if you're viewing it in the same degree, there will be some micro degree. So the universe is such that no 2 things, no matter how alike, are not the same. Yeah, even 2 identical twins are not the same. They're alike, absolutely alike, not the same. So that's how I approach learning. That's how I approach life. I learn from here and there and everywhere, and then I bring it all, and in my own experience, I allow my truths to come up, to emerge. Oh, and by the way, my name is Shubhali. I work at the nexus of coaching, therapeutic modalities, and spirituality as an inner world guide. I've been doing this work for the last 10 plus years. And so when you look at my plan, as I said even then, don't compare yourself with me, my plan, somebody else's plan. Understand that we're all on the same path. We're all on the same journey at different spaces, different places. No place is good or bad, better or worse. We're all just walking, right? And something that I often tell to the people I work with is that at the end of the day, you, me, we are all just walking each other home. The reason I've started this channel, the reason I'm starting this video, the video series is two things, right? One, for my own self, for my own holding myself accountable. I mean, I've been doing this work for a long time. I have a lot of inner drive. I was just blessed with this sense of possibility. And so, never saying die, which is why I have been have been able to start this channel, put it all out there, do these challenges. I think because all of those things just come very almost as if naturally to me. I'm sure I've built it at some point in time, but today it just comes naturally to me. And yet, it is much easier to be accountable to something like this, to you, to this channel. It is much easier to do that than just within myself, hold myself accountable, right? So to do what works, what would serve me the best for my highest self, I started this channel. That's one. Second is I truly believe in intuitive movement, intuitive eating, intuitive being, intuitive living. And I think fasting, the amount of food that we eat, intermittent fasting, these are concepts, these are things that I'm curious about, that I sort of have experiences with, and I think it'll be so beneficial for as many people as possible to be able to understand how much food is really needed. This whole sort of thing behind, I mean, I'm sure I'm not the first person that you're hearing this from, but this idea of so many calories a day is kind of rubbish. you know every calorie is different. Oh, so many things, I don't want to go into that right now, but I do believe that this kind of, if everybody can start to lead an intuitive life, what that means is that, of course, you still learn from outside resources, other people, written text, podcasts, YouTube videos. You do all of that, but you do that, and then you pause, and then you check in with your own being. Understand this being. The Buddha said that, Gautam Buddha, he said that within this being is like a lab, right? It's like your biggest data center possible. So instead of looking for researchers to do research outside, and researchers all do research outside in the external world, if all of this research were to be done within for your own self, of course, not putting in crap into your body, but research like this, 21 days of no eating. Maybe if you've never done it, you cannot even fathom it. One day of no eating, one day of not having water. I'm not saying do all of that, but I'm saying in my own experience, when I actually pause and experience it in the right way, not in the reactive way. What's the reactive way? I don't eat, and then I start feeling hungry, and then I start thinking, oh my God, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. And I pause that. I've not eaten, hunger pangs have begun. Notice it. Yeah. As we go along in the 21-day water fast, I will be logging every single day, and I'll share what's happening for me, my thoughts, my emotions. Yeah, and so that's the second reason for this channel. First is very, very personal, for me to be able to hold myself accountable, or for me to be able to support my accountability. I do hold myself accountable, but to support that, to strengthen it, and in some ways to accelerate it. And then the second is to spread this to as many people as possible. The last thing, as you can see, this is not a very, very well scripted video. That's who I am, right? So I will think of what I want to talk about, and then I will respect what emerges as well. And so here's what I just realized. one of the big reasons, so one of the overarching reasons for me to think when I thought about like that I want to do the 21-day fast was because the last time I did my 21 days, right? After that, for the next 6 months, 6 months to a year, my life was in a different trajectory. And then my life sort of shifted, like circumstances, external events shifted, and slowly, gradually, but surely, things started going, as I mentioned, all the things that I actually want, who and how I want to be started decreasing, and what I don't want to be started expanding. Yeah. And so the other reason to create this challenge was also the longevity game. That yes, right now I'm saying starting with 21 days of fasting, expanding into 82 days, and then 31st December, let's see, wherever we are on 31st of December, let's see how we want to from there sort of dive, fly in to the new year. So let's see how that works out. Thank you for watching this video. And if you've followed along for so long, I can assure you this channel, this series, as you follow along in my journey, I believe you're going to learn a lot for your own self, not from me, but through my experience, you learn for you.